Once upon a time, Grandmaster of the Gold Lucky was preparing a rainbow hunting team. They were all experts and were well equipped to hunt the rainbows. Their job was to find rainbows and then find the end because they will find gold and be as rich as they will ever desire. Lucky knew that the enemy trolls were defending the gold and hated their color. So time from time, when gold was well defended, Lucky would use his great golden magic. But once they were out, the trolls came to their home and invaded. When Lucky sighted the trolls, he was wise and took his men to go make a plan. Many of his men were eager to go attack, but Lucky knew they would expect it. The trolls had sent a party to try to stop them. Lucky decided to use his magic powers to make his whole party look like trolls, so that they were just that were sent to stop them. So maybe the dumb trolls could think they had only succeeded. Only one troll had a weapon that could take down Lucky. It was a weapon of dark magic that was 2,000 years old. The next day, Mick, they would move out to go fight the trolls. It's time to move out, my fellow soldiers, said Loki. But everyone knew that something was bothering Loki. They moved to the city gates and they knocked and they opened it. But little did Lucky know there was a dark bow above Loki. Lucky thought they were fine, but once they were far in the city, the dark bow was shot twice. Both of them found them marked. All of his party were back as leprechauns, and all of them took out their lucky charm cannons and fought until they could no more. But one spark of hope is still
The knight in shining armor.
Escaped the city.
One day there was a strong and fierce knight who eventually saved a couple of barn animals. This is the story. The story begins with a small town called Leonardson, where everybody was joyful all the time, when all of a sudden, "Carlos, Carlos," a young paper boy chanted. "The animals! The tide arose and the barn is consumed in water." Carlos came running from the town square. "Calm down, boy," Carlos instructed with his intimidatingly low voice. "Why not go build the barn on stable land?" Carlos thought, rolling his eyes. Why not go save the animals again, as he posed for the townspeople? He began to sprint to the barn to save the animals, and halfway there, the knight tripped on a small pebble, causing him to scuff up his armor. "I have to look nice to be successful in a mission," Carlos announced to himself. After that, he headed off. Once he arrived at the barn, he noticed the animals were not there. He listened very carefully, and all of a sudden he heard the cry of a horse, a pig, and a cow. The sounds of the animals were odd, though, almost bubbly. Carlos opened the door and water sprayed him, pushing him to the ground. He was nearly trampled by all the animals, who were happy because of all their great sense of freedom. Carlos smiled and stood up happy, but also slightly annoyed because the animals kicked up the dirt and made his armor dirty. When Carlos arrived home, the whole town rejoiced to him. "Carlos, you saved the precious meat," They chanted. "We have food for winter."
Carl and Carla the Chameleons by
Maya Aguilar,
Michael Hampton,
and Clayton Pugness. There were chameleons named Carl and Carla. They lived in the jungle. They went to Antarctica to see his twin friend Spike.
"Hey Spike, what's up?"
Nothing much. A polar bear just ate all my fish.
"What if I get you some food from my jungle?"
There are no fish in the jungle, Carl. There are only fish in the lake across the jungle.
"And me and Carl go grab some."
Thanks so much, Carl. They went home and got their fishing rods and got going. They heard growls from behind them.
"It's a tiger!" screamed Carla.
So they camouflaged themselves, and the tiger walked away as if nothing happened. So they started walking again, but they were careful this time. But later down the trail, they ran into a trap. when a bear came by.
They asked, "Can you help us, sir?" And he gallantly replied,
For a price.
"What type of price?"
Asked Carl.
He said, you two have to get me $100.
As he said that, he unlocked the cage, so they went on their journey. On their way, they finally reached a lake. As they got the fish, they headed back to see Spike.
My journey to Candyland. Emma was a 7-year-old girl that lived in Florida, and it was hot there, and she always wanted to go somewhere warm, but not too hot. Emma lived with her grandpa. Her grandpa was an explorer and went everywhere, but not the place Emma wanted to go. The next day, Emma told her grandpa where she wanted to go. She said Candyland. Emma's grandpa said, "Candyland? Where am I going to find that?" Emma was so sad and cried. Then said, "Haven't you been everywhere?" "Yes," said her grandpa. Emma was still crying and said, "Then we can go to Candyland, can't we?" Her grandpa said, "Okay, we will look tomorrow." Emma was so excited and jumped up and down. The next day, Emma got her bag. She packed clothes, stuffed animals, juice, toys, and some snacks. Her grandpa packed a flashlight, tent, food, water, clothes, blankets, and pillows too. "Are you ready, Emma?" She said her grandpa. "Yes," she said. "Then let's go." It was nighttime. Emma was asleep. Her grandpa whispered to himself, "How am I going to go somewhere made up?" "Well," he said, "I'm off to a hotel and we will stay there the night." In the morning, Emma said, "Where am I?" "Oh, honey, good. You're up. Good morning. We are in a hotel. I'm going to get breakfast. What do you want?" "I want a strawberry donut," she said. Emma took a shower, got dressed, and brushed her hair and went to eat. A donut? This is the best donut I've ever had," she shouted. "Shh, people are still sleeping," whispered her grandpa. "Oh, sorry." And they left to go find Candyland.
Grandpa, are we there yet? She asked. No, said her grandpa. When we were driving, we noticed something out in the distance. It was a lollipop tree. They had been in a car for 5 hours and they finally found something. When they got there, it was amazing. "I didn't think it was possible," said Grandpa. "I always thought it was possible," said Emma. Grandpa started walking to a campsite. They set up camp. I want to stay here forever," Emma yelled. "We can't," said Grandpa. Emma wandered off and found a waterfall. She said, "I want to cool off." She walked into the water and poof! She turned into a candy girl. She went back to her grandpa and said, "I guess I had to stay here forever," she said. Her grandpa, still amazed, said, "Take me to the waterfall and I'll stay here too." They went to the waterfall and got changed into a candy man. They got a sugar house.
The princess is fun to dance. The book was Princess Dance, and we love Princess Dance. We can write about Princess. The princess dance, and they have clothes, pink, purple, blue, or yellow. They have costumes, shoes, and they have like headbands. I had practiced for Princess Dance, or people can go to. They picked up for dance. We're somewhere, and they use pretty, beautiful, and nice. They are colorful. When they dance, they go up in the air like a real dancer, and they also have more than 2 players in their team. They have pretty dress, new hair, and have an year old. Is the 11 years old and 12 years old. They can also have snacks when they are done. Then they go back to their dancing. You go in there at 10 o'clock a.m. and 3:30 you go home. Then you can do many dance at the exploratory. That like a swing and dance, put their feet at the bottom of the floor. When mom and dad, cousins, friends, and your aunt, they were coming to explore too. And then we are happy to kids and people too, and we have much fun. There are, and you can also play with their friends too, talking them. They are bars that you can do where you can do the dancing there. They threw the flowers for because they good job. And is the end of the story.
How the Dog Got Lost by Lane Fesky and
Jose Maldonado. One day, a dog named Max was with his owner Jack. They played outside. Jack went inside for a little, and forgetting Max, and he explored the place.
he found a little hole in the fence and he slipped under it and got out.
Later, Max was hungry, so he tried to find a way home, but he couldn't because he forgot where he lived. Max barked at a stranger for food.
At Jack's home, they were making flyers for a missing dog named Max. They put their name, address, and phone number.
Max was so hungry, so he went to town to find food.
Max went to see if someone would give him food, but no one gave him food to eat.
So he went to a dumpster to find food.
When Jack went to town the next day to put up the flyers,
Max found food, but he saved it for the next day so he could eat it.
after Jack was done putting flyers all over town, he started to search for Max in town. Jack knew that Max knew the town. After Max ate, Jack found him in the alleyway, and Max barked because he knew Jack found him.
Then they went home and celebrated at their home.
The
end.
Hide. One day there's a little girl named Blakely, and it was her first day of 4th grade. The week before school, Blakely was thinking, I'm different, but that's okay. The first day of school, she went, and everybody was staring at her. Blakely hid behind her mom. When they got to the classroom, Blakely went and put her stuff in her desk. Mr. Shug called up and called her name. Hi, my name is Blakely, and I have craniofacial disorder. Ring, ring, time to go.
The Adventures of Unikitty
And Oreo.
made by Natalie Peterson,
And Avery Whipple, Stranger on the Moon.
Book 1.
It was a normal day in Catlandia. Unikitty and Oreo were walking in the park together when they saw a rocket ship. Unikitty thought it was a new play place, so she went in to see it. Oreo said,
Unikitty, are you sure that's a play place?
Of course, Oreo. Why wouldn't it be? It's in the park.
Okay.
Oreo said, worried. Then, when Unikitty walked in, she hit a big red button. Then, whoosh, went up the rocket ship.
Unikitty?
Oreo said wildly. Oopsie.
I should have never listened to you.
Whoa, said Unikitty in amazement. Oreo, look at this. Oreo went up to the window and looked at space. It was beautiful.
Whoa.
Oreo said. I know, right? Said Unikitty.
I'm still mad at you, though.
Unikitty rolled her eyes. Let's land on the moon!
No.
Why? Because what if we get stuck on the moon? Unikitty doesn't listen and steers the ship to the moon. Come on, Oreo. Unikitty? Oreo yells. You meatball, I can't believe you did this. Oreo said. Come on, Oreo, let's have some fun. Unikitty landed the ship on the moon. When they land on the moon, Unikitty walked out of the ship into space.
Unikitty, are you sure we should be on the moon?
Oreo said to Unikitty, why not? Then out of nowhere, Unikitty hears something walking behind her.
Unikitty, look out!
But it was too late. The stranger grabbed her and ran. Oreo! Unikitty yelled. Oreo ran after her and the stranger. Oreo's mind was spinning.
Unikitty!
And out of nowhere, the stranger sets her down and starts petting her while she purrs with a pot of food by her side. Then the stranger saw Oreo, picked up Unikitty, and ran again. But Unikitty jumps out of his arms and runs up to Oreo. No, come back, cat, the stranger said. I'll take great care of you. Unikitty sticks out her tongue at him, and the stranger was surprised. What kind of cat are you? I'm a Unikitty, sucker, Unikitty said. The stranger was so in shock that the cat could talk.
Unikitty, let's go,
Oreo said. Oreo and Unikitty ran into the ship. Unikitty hit the big red button, and the ship went up. That was close.
Yeah, it was,
Oreo said. Unikitty steered the ship back to Catlandia. When they got home, Oreo was so happy to see the ground. She kissed it. Ew! Oreo!
I missed the land, okay? I bet you missed it too.
Oreo said, okay, fine. And Unikitty got down and kissed the ground too. It feels good to be home.
The end.
They said it at the same time and walked.
The fish that got away. Once upon a time in a big city, there was a legend of a big fish in the Great Salt Lake. People try and try, but never pull it out. He's a toad of a rainbow. So many colors, red, green, and blue, yellow. There's a tail of a monstrous fish, as big as a bus. They say he ate all the fish in the lake. They also say he ate a bus itself. He may have a big reel and a musky rod, but you're not going to catch it. They say his favorite food is piranhas. Piranhas are very scary sharp-toothed fish. He once tried to eat my grandma, but I saved her. It fears no other, and it's the main predator of the sea. It has a big mouth that can swallow a man if it decided to. Its biggest bus. People try and fish for it. They have to catch the bait first. Its favorite food is piranhas, so they have to go to the Amazon to catch the piranhas. But then they try to catch it, and they end up losing the reel. I have absolutely no idea what that was. It's as big as a Mekong. It's bigger than a Mekong giant catfish. Well, no luck.
Daisy and her lost sister. Once upon a time, there was a polar bear named Daisy. Daisy lived in North Slope, Alaska. She lived a happy life with her brother David and her sister Daphne and her mom. One day, Daisy and Daphne were playing in the snow while David and their mom were catching fish to eat. Daisy and Daphne decided to play hide and go seek. Daphne was hiding while Daisy was counting. When Daisy was trying to find Daphne, the wind was getting cold and strong. Daisy gave up and had to go home because the storm was getting bad. But little did Daisy know that Daphne was stuck in the snow when Daisy got home. Her mom asked where Daisy was. Daisy had no idea where Daphne was. Daisy thought that Daphne was behind her. The storm was getting bad, so they had to look for her tomorrow. It was the next day when Daisy and David just woke up and went looking for Daphne. First, they looked at where they played hide and go seek, but they only found a deep hole and footprints. They followed the footprints all the way to many bushes, and then footprints disappeared. Daisy and David decided to look in the bushes. David was looking in the left bushes and Daisy was looking in the right bushes. They looked for a long time until they heard someone crying. They followed the crying and saw Daphne sitting behind bushes. Daisy and David said what was wrong, and Daphne said that when they were playing hide and go seek, she could not find a hiding spot and she got lost. Daisy and David helped Daphne and they walked home together.
Under the sea.
There once was a girl who thought fishes and sea creatures were real and that they talked, but her mom said her imagination is way too wild.
So one day she thought, I can prove her wrong if we just go to the sea. So she asked her mom, but her mom said, no, you don't need to prove me wrong. I have been in this world longer than you and seen more animals, and I have been to the sea and never saw a talking creature in the water.
Lily said, it's because you don't believe, you don't have imagination. So she went to bed. She had a dream, and when she awoke, she thought of a perfect plan to get to the sea.
She went to take a shower, then told her mom if they could go to the beach. But of course her mom said, no, you just want to prove me wrong.
But Mommy, I want to go swimming. Please, please.
Fine, but only if you listen. Go get ready. Once we arrived,
we took a ride to the deep on the raft, and I saw fish. I thought it said hi, but Mom said it was all in my head. Then I saw it again, and it was like it was telling me to come with it. So I did. I jumped in, and my mom hollered, "Get back on the raft now!"
but she didn't. So the mom jumped in too. The fish took Lily, and Lily was gone. The fish took her underwater, and Mom was so scared her heart was pounding out of her chest.
It was so magical. She had a mermaid tail, and now so did the mom. The mom, Brianna, was fainting to see her and her daughter have a tail, and they could breathe and talk. So could the fish. Brianna said she can't believe her daughter's imagination came to life. She was shocked to see a fish that can talk.
So the fish led them to a mermaid world, and it was so beautiful. They got to see the mermaid queen, and she asked them to rule the sea. Because Lily's imagination was so wild.
They agreed, and now they live
Happily ever after.
The Mermaid and the Surfer by Addie Jeske and Kenzie Thacker.
Once upon a tale, there was a mermaid named Aqua. She lived in the ocean of Florida. She also was 13 years old, and she had blonde hair and a rainbow tail. She had a brother and a baby sister. One day, she went for a swim. She saw a strange thing on the top of the water. She saw a hand come down, but it was not one of her own kind. It was more tan and didn't even have a tail. Then her father said, "Come down from there, it's dangerous," he said. "But what is the thing at the top of the water?" "No mermaid ever goes to the top," her dad said. "You'll learn when you're older," said her mom. As she swam down, the surfer saw something unspeakable.
Up on the land, the surfer saw the tail. His first thoughts to it was a shark. But then Max thought to himself, "I'm way too far up to the surface that a big shark couldn't get me," he thought. He got out of the water and went to his house and looked up on his computer if mermaids are real. It was the only thing that went to his mind when it wasn't a shark. He got to reading. He read that they are real and that they were here for more than trillions of years, but they are so hard to find. They have only sawn a tail, and they even went
And not any other part of the mermaid.
So he kept doubting himself, so he just went back to the beach. But when one day he was on the beach and saw her again, he knew that it was a mermaid. He got on a surfboard and went into the water and followed her
To the ocean. He got the scuba gear on and dived in hoping to find something. Then he found her swimming towards the castle. Then he saw him, and the two eyes caught each other, recognized him. They both recognized each other as she saw the surfer boy and he found the mermaid. They swam to the shallow water. Her dad called her back, and her mother gave her a special necklace that let her go on land when she wanted. After that, they lived on land and in water sometimes, so that the mermaid could see her family. They got married at the age of 21. She got married at the age of 21 and had a daughter of their own.
Once was a man named Donald Trump, but his friends would call him the Trumpster. He went to Iceland for no apparent reason, but when he got there, he joined the Mafia gang wars. The Mafia gang wars were racing wars, and whoever won got 18 gallons of ferret crap. The Trumpster was the best at the job because when they raced, he had the Trumpmobile. But then there was a rival gang, the H. Dog Clinton gang. The H. Dog Clinton gang had the leader, H. Dog Clinton. The first racer for the Clinton gang was Scooby-Dooby-Doo. But of course, he lost to the Statue of Liberty because she was the best. Then the next racer for the Clinton gang won with Squonky. Next was the leader of the Mafia gang, Winnie the Pooh. And for the Clinton gang, it's Tigger. But against it, of course, Tigger it was. But not. Last but not least was Hillary Clinton and the Trumpster. They had to dodge 12 Doges shooting butt lasers. Then they're racing and one person got killed, and then Bernie Sanders came in and shot people with a paintball gun.
So here we are, a donkey and the Millennium Falcon. Take the wheel, fire the laser cannons, pew pew pew. We're being shot at. Deploy parachute, donkey. 5 hours later. Where are we? Hey, it's Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Come inside, it's fun inside. Show up, you annoying mouse. Okay, well just follow me inside and I'll show you the way. Okay, and please stop singing. He didn't fear at least. Well, they went inside the very weird clubhouse, and let me remind you, it's more like a mansion than a clubhouse. Anyway, they got in and got hot cocoa and relaxed for a while until Darth Vader came back to life. And Darth Vader came back to life and went to the clubhouse, aka mansion. I will destroy, I will keep him right. Okay, Donkey, do your thing. Okay, so Donkey, Falcon, kick! And Darth Vader said no, and threw him against the wall, and he died. But Shrek slapped him and came back to life, and then they jumped in Mickey Mouse's car and drove off.
One day there was a troll named Corn because he looked like corn and his mom was a potato. Corn loved playing football and with his friend French Fry loved playing with him. One day his mom came downstairs and told him to get dressed. So he gets dressed and goes outside. So he went to go get his friend French Fry and French Fry's friends. So then he got his friends and played football. His mom was watching them, and French Fry broke Corn's ankle, so the mom saw it and got mad. So she ate the French fry. So Corn went inside and told his dad, a person, that his mom ate French fry. Then his dad said, "I've always wanted to eat her." Then the next day, since the school got closed, he just played Fortnite and NBA. The end.
Mackenzie and Her Dog by Marcy Martinez and Elizabeth Alvarez. Mackenzie got a dog from her mother. The dog's name is Bella. She was a Yorkie Terrier. She had a good dog. But one day, Bella hit Mackenzie on the hand. Bit Mackenzie on the hand because Mackenzie was throwing her a toy in the air. The next day, she went to school. She had a big scar in her hand. Everyone asked what happened to her hand. She said, "My mom bit my hand." Everyone said, "Are you okay? Hope it doesn't hurt." Mackenzie said, "No, it doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt that bad."
The next day, she did not come to because it was Mackenzie's birthday. She went to the store with her mom. Her mom said, "What do you want to get? Buy here." Then Mackenzie said, "I guess nothing." Mackenzie's mom preview.
And you can't understand it.
Mackenzie buys a cake. Mackenzie says, "Wow, I love this cake. Thank you so much, Mom." "You're welcome, Mackenzie. Happy birthday." Mackenzie, she said. Mackenzie, I can't believe 15. Well, one more year, you're 15, Mackenzie says. "I'm growing up so fast. I wish I was 11, but that can't happen." "Well, I can make you 11-year-old party."
Mackenzie says, "Well, I'm going to look like a kid again. Wish I was gross when I was a kid, so I'll still love you then." And now, a week later, "Good morning, Mackenzie." Mackenzie said, "Good morning, Mom. Can I go to my friend's house, please? Can I go?" "So, love you, Mackenzie. Have fun." Mackenzie's preview. "Hi, Chloe." Chloe says, "Hi, Mackenzie. Want to go to my room?" Chloe says, "Look what I made you." Mackenzie says, "Wow, that's really good, Chloe." "Thank you," Chloe said. "Nice that you're my favorite friend." Chloe says, "Well, like my mother says, I'm really nice." Chloe says, "I made you a picture." Thanks, Chloe. "Thanks, Chloe. It's really good." Chloe says, "No, thank you for everything." Chloe says, "We should sleep at your house and talk about boys since it was your birthday yesterday." "Sure, let me ask my mom. She'll probably say yes." Later on, so what should we do tonight? Chloe says, "First we should go watch a scary movie." "What next should we watch tonight?" Chloe says, "We should watch Lights Out with popcorn and water." "So, Chloe, you have to leave, so I wish you could stay with me." Chloe says, "Well, I have to see my dad this weekend. Sorry, I really wish I could stay here with you, but my dad will be mad if I don't go with you." Okay, well, bye," Chloe says. "Bye." 3 days after. Then after my long 3 years, I saw Chloe. "Chloe," I said, "you look different." Chloe says, "Yes, I do look different because I got my hair about. How about we have a picnic at 3:00 p.m. so we can talk about my staying with my dad?" "Sure," said Chloe, "at 3:00 p.m. It is okay with me." At the picnic, then Mackenzie talked about I was like Hawaii. It was fun there.
was a lot of coconuts. There is palm trees. Then we went to the beach. I got to swim with dolphins and ride in a big boat. 1 hour later, I paused then and went home.
Then Mom told me to check if there was any mail. Then Mackenzie went outside with Bella to see if there was any mail. Then she looked up in the sky. If she saw a rainbow and a flying unicorn, then she ran inside with Bella and the mail in her hands. She told her mom she saw a unicorn in the sky.
Is he making noises on purpose? Harold, do you think he's making noises on purpose?
About unicorns.
Tell me the truth.
Then Mackenzie could not stop thinking about
Yeah, he's making noises on
unicorn.
purpose? Okay.
She
Ian, why don't you come talk to me?
About if the unicorn was magic or powerful, he or she, a girl, did not talk, was shy. Could he or she make magical potions? The next day in school. When I came to school the next day, Mackenzie was not paying attention to the teacher because Mackenzie was thinking about the unicorn she saw the other day. Then the teacher told Mackenzie, what did I say? Said or tell me what are you thinking? Tell the class about what you are thinking. Okay, Mackenzie, if you say so. Teacher, I think of the unicorn I saw the other day in my house, but then the classroom started talking about it and she ran out of the class.
Noah's a new kid. Then the teacher told everyone there was gonna be a new kid in our class. But then Mackenzie told the teacher, do you know his name? Do you know the new kid's name? The teacher said, the new kid's name is Noah. He is going to come today, he said. Then everyone saw a shadow. Then the teacher said he was coming. Let's give him a surprise. Let's hide him. The door opened. 1, 2, 3. Hi, Noah. All the girls went and saw him there. Fall in love with him. It was so cute. Mackenzie saw him. Then Noah fell in love with Mackenzie. Invited Noah to eat at McDonald's. The next day, Mackenzie sought up to Noah and told him to have time because I wanted to invite you to eat to McDonald's. McDonald's, yeah. Me and my family, yes, I will come at 3:35. It's okay? 37 in McDonald's. Then it was 5:37. They were happy, excited, eating pancakes together, and they became best friends. Noah said, well, thanks for being my friend. I don't have any friends. I just moved here from Asia 3 days ago. That's why I have no friends, sadly.
One day, Cookie Monster was eating 5 million pounds of cookies. He was halfway through the cookies when Felix was coming home to steal cookies and became the most powerful, pretty Pegasus in the world to become family-friendly Felix. He ate all the cookies and blew up. But he came back as a cookie spirit. Then he blew up again. That was the end to this dumb story.
Spider-Man finds his parents. One day, Spider-Man was fighting the robot Green Goblin at the old lab of his dad. When he was about to defeat the robot Green Goblin, someone had thrown a ball that drained the superpowers for anyone that has the powers. The robot Green Goblin was destroyed by the drain ball. Soon Spider-Man was very confused by what happened to Green Goblin. At the very back of the stair, there were two a science lab coat and other had a coat, but it was energy ball proof. They got closer to Spider-Man. After they got close enough, they were shocked. Spider-Man was still confused by what the two strangers and shocking. Spider-Man was even shocked by who the two strangers. It was his parents, but inside the old lab. Spider-Man asked, "Why were you, Mom and Dad, hiding in the lab?" There was a long pause for them. They said, "We were hiding inside of my husband's lab because after they saw us make the powerful machines they could rule the world, they started to steal machines as fast as they can to be powerful. So we did." Long pause. Spider-Man said that, "Why you, Mom and Dad were gone for a long time?" Spider-Man grabbed her mind and stabbed to himself and left her forever.
Mackenzie and the Doors by Riley Hannes and Jessica Padilla. It is now summer, and Mackenzie was moving away to this old house in the country that hasn't been up for sale till now. She was sad because she was moving away from all her friends.
After 2 days, we fully moved in. The only thing was that there was 7 doors upstairs, but they had locks on them.
One day, they all went upstairs and tried to open the doors to see what was behind them. Finally, after 20 minutes, the parents got one door open, and with their eyes, they saw war.
Wait, what? War?
Yes, war. It seemed like there was war, and it seemed like the doors could open up a portal. They finally closed the door. Was shocked. Emotions.
They all hurried down upstairs to call the landlord. After 30 minutes on the phone, they figured out that those doors were portals to the other timeline, and they shouldn't have opened them.
After a couple minutes, realizing that they didn't shut the doors, they ran upstairs, and in their sight, they saw dead men in the hallway. The sight was so terrible that they couldn't move. Realizing that they needed to hurry, they tried pushing the people back into the portal, and they finally closed the door. But something opened it and pulled Mackenzie's parents into the portal. Before Mackenzie could pull her parents out, the door closed. Mackenzie fell on the floor. She thought about her life with no parents. Tears ran down her cheek.
She hurried down the stairs, couldn't lose her parents. She grabbed a backpack and went in the fridge and grabbed food. She grabbed the clothes and flashlight. She faced the door. Breathing deeply, she opened it.
She walked in, and what it seemed like it was a field with dead men, but war was over. She walked into the forest, not knowing what or where she should go. She heard rustling in the woods. She quickly grabbed the flashlight. She walked slowly, and a boy popped out. With surprisement, she threw the flashlight at him. They talked for about, 20 minutes after she realized that was the picture of her uncle. She, with surprisement, talked to him and asked what he was doing. He himself got trapped in these doors too. But when you're in the portal, you never age. So that's why he was still a little boy. But he told her that you couldn't open the door from the inside. So her and her family were stuck. But he soon saw people that looked like from her decade run to a cave from soldiers. They finally found the cave, and they ran to the cave,
and they found their parents. But the dad was surprised to see his brother. The dad asked questions, and the boys answered.
30 minutes after talking, they realized that they needed a way out. The mom was looking through her purse and her pockets. She found her phone, and they thought of the idea that maybe they could call the landlord.
The landlord came and got them out.
And finally, everything was back to normal, especially because Mackenzie got to move into the old house and was back with her friends.
The end.
Mysterious love. It all started off in the Dolan twins' warehouse when they were filming a video with Chelsea. They were all close friends at the time. Grayson was planning on asking Chelsea to be his girlfriend. When Ethan, Chelsea, and Grayson were done filming, Chelsea went to take a shower. Ethan was feeling tired, so he left to their apartment. While Chelsea was showering, Grayson was cleaning up the warehouse. Man, I'm so tired from filming, I said, changing into my PJs. I want to talk to Cam. Hey Cam. Hey Bob. Well, I want to ask Chelsea to be my girlfriend. Okay, Ethan, just be yourself. There's nothing to worry about. Just make sure she says, give me time to think, to give her time to think, okay? Thanks, Cam. Good night. Good night. Bye. 6 minutes passed and Chelsea was coming down the stairs, seeing a table with food, a heart around the table, and the best part yet, Grayson sitting across the table, smiling widely. Hey, Chelsea, Grayson said, getting up, pulling out a chair for Chelsea to sit at. Hey, Gray, where's Ethan? Oh, he left because he was tired, like always, he said, laughing. Chelsea laughed with him and sat down on the chair. What's all this for, Gray? Well, Chelsea, we've been friends for quite a while, and I wanted to ask you something, but we'll get to that later. They ate, and it was finally time for Grayson to ask Chelsea to be his girlfriend. Here goes nothing. Chelsea, would you like to be my girlfriend? Grayson, I have feelings for someone else. Oh, I understand, he said. Chelsea felt so bad she ran out of there. She couldn't stand seeing Grayson sad. I woke up and put my clothes on. I went downstairs and saw Gray. Hey, Gray, where were you yesterday? You came home late. Oh, I was cleaning the warehouse, and I guess I lost track of time. Okay, well, I'm going to the store. Do you want anything? He mumbled. Chelsea. No, I said, just forget about it, go. I thought to myself why I said that, but then I remembered I was going to ask Chelsea to be my girlfriend. I suddenly got happy and drove off to the store. Ethan went to pick up roses because they were Chelsea's favorite. He also stopped by Chipotle for Grayson. After that, he went to Chelsea's house. He knocked on the door and waited. He was greeted with someone he wasn't expecting. A tall guy opens the door. Hey, is there a girl named Chelsea here? Ethan said, getting worried. Yeah, give me a second. Chels! He yelled. What do you want, Sean? She yelled back. I want you to come down here. Someone, what is your name? Ethan. Ethan wants to talk to you. She came down the stairs as fast as she ever was. She had the biggest smile planted on her face. Hey, E. Chelsea was blushing. Hey, Chelsea. I was actually hoping we could go out for breakfast. Ethan said, blushing a little. I'd love to. Just let me change real quick. Chelsea went upstairs to change. She came down with a floral dress and some sandals. Ethan was so surprised because she only took 2 minutes. You look amazing, he said, smiling, making Chelsea blush even more. They left the IHOP and happy as ever. They both ordered some eggs, bacon, hash browns, and OJ. After they ate, they went to the apartment.
When we got there, Grayson was there with his ex, kissing. They stopped and they both looked at us. What do you guys want? They both said with sass. Dang, no one asked for sass, I said. Well, whatever. What do you guys want? Are you just going to stand there? Chelsea finally managed to say, no, I just wanted to spend time with my boyfriend in his room, Chelsea said. Grayson was mad for some reason. He just stormed out of the apartment. Grayson's ex ran after him. Chelsea, yes, Ethan? Did you really call me your boyfriend?
Before she could finish up what she was about to say, I said, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, Chelsea. What?
Come, I said, walking to the couch. We've been friends for the longest time, and in that time I developed feelings for you. I always wanted to ask you to be my girlfriend, but I always thought you didn't like me back. Now that I heard that come out of your mouth, I think you like me back. So Chelsea Anthony Williams, I said, grabbing her hands and looking into her silver eyes, with her looking into my hazel eyes. Would you make me the happiest boy in the world and be my girlfriend?
She was speechless. She could finally manage to spit out, yes, Ethan, I would love to. I love you so much. We both hugged. Hey, Chelsea, yes, Ethan, why did you call me your boyfriend?
Well, yesterday when I got out of the shower, I went downstairs and saw that Grayson had a table with a heart around it. Then I sat down and we talked until he asked me if I would be his girlfriend. I said that I had feelings for someone else, which is you, but then I felt bad and left because it made me sad to watch him tear up. Whoa, that's why he came home alone and barged out of here? She nodded. I hugged her. Yes, babe. Babe, I said.
Yes, I love you.
I said and kissed her. The end.
Bill in the Dark Forest by Jaime Lopez and Patrick Keaton. One day there was a boy called Bill, and he loved comic books. His favorite one was Jim in the Dark Forest, and he wishes that he can be just like him. The next day, he was reading a comic book. Then he was yelling to his mom and dad. Then he went up there, didn't see Bill. Bill woke up and said, "Where am I?" Then his parents picked up the comic book. He was reading and saw a picture of him. His dad said, "The heck? This can't be true." The mom replied, "Well, books never lie." Bill realized he saw cheese, then he knew he was sucked in the comic book. So he just walked around in the place. He saw a dark forest. He was kind of scared at first, then he saw something that thing captured and took at his place he never knew. When he was walking more, and he saw somebody he didn't know. When he was walking more, he saw somebody he didn't know. And when he got closer, he realized that it was a robot monkey. He was really scared because he thought the monkey was gonna use lasers. Then his pet monkey, and he knew that it wouldn't hurt him. He carried the monkey, but the monkey went. After a couple hours, someone at that moment, he knew who it was, and it was ... Jim! He got up faster than ever did. Jim said, Are you alright, bro? Because you're acting a little weird. What's wrong with you? Bill had no words because he was never been with someone so amazing like Jim. Jim wanted to help Bill get back home, so he did that. Bill said, "What are you making?" "I'm making a spaceship. So you can go back home. And I'm going to put so many horsepower that will make it to the surface." "Okay, here you go in the spaceship." Okay. Here's the keys. Now fly off to your home." "Okay," Bill said, so he started the ship and flew home. The end.
It was a beautiful day today in France. I was having lots of fun. I learned lots of things like their culture and their language. This is a cool place to be at. I had to go to art class. Then Mrs. Bubbles told us, "Okay, students, you have to finish an artwork. After this class was over and I stayed after school, and someone walked down the hall and then saw my art and said, "Wow, this should be at the art museum." Angelina was so proud and happy that someone recognized her artwork. So she went to the France Monument Museum and asked, "Hi, my name is Angelina. May I put my artwork in with these beautiful artwork?" Mason shook his head. "Hi, my name is Mason. Sorry, I cannot look at this artwork until my manager comes." Angelina replied with a confused face. "Oh, when does your manager come?" Mason said at 7:30 p.m. "I don't know if he will accept this question for you, but if I was the manager, and looked at this art, I would be so surprised." "Manager, your art is really good and like a life story." Angelina was so happy when Mason said that. She replied with her face red and cheerful. "Oh, thank you. I worked really hard on this and it took a really long time." "Oh, I bet with all that detail, I bet it did. For sure. It is so realistic too. So if you said that to the community, they would be so surprised." "Well, thanks. I guess I'll come back around 7 o'clock. "Okay, Angelina. See you then." Angelina walks out. "I wonder if I should make something that would impress the manager and mind walking out." Angelina at home and gets some paints and papers and starts painting. "Wow, this is turning out great." 2 hours later, she turns out with this. "The manager will love this." Walks back to the monument. And Mason says, "Oh, hey, you're back." Oh, hey, you're back. Who is this? Wait, is this the girl you were talking about who wanted their... Yes, it is me. Yes, it is me. I made something it might impress Show's artwork. Manager is surprised. "Wow, I am loving these artwork. We need them in the museum immediately." Angelina smiled. Mason says, "Come, I will show you where you can take your artwork." He shows where. Angelina, "Oh wow, this is a big spot. I will put lots of artwork in here. My dream has finally come true. I am making this is art piece the desk. I am going to put zigzags, fading, and colors. This is going to be good for now. I wonder if I will finish in time. I hope the art show starts soon, so I need to finish this artwork very fast." Mason goes to Angelina's artwork room. "Hi, you came unexpectedly. What's up?" "Oh, just telling you the art show starts in 3 hours. You better hurry." "Oh, sorry, I didn't know. That's why I was taking my time." Mason and Angelina laugh hysterically. "Well, I'll get out of your way so you can concentrate." "Well, you can help me if you would like." "Sure, I have nothing better to do." They finish and they go to the art show. Angelina is very nervous. Angelina, what if they disqualify me? I mean, I'm not that good at art. Wait, am I? Mason, I'm good at the table. They won't be impressed. I am nervous. I can't do this. We are up next. I am freaking out. Mason, help me. "Don't worry, Angelina. You will do great." "I hope so." Angelina is up next and goes on stage and shows all artwork. The judges are so surprised. They do golden buzzer. "Oh my God," cries with tear of joy. Walks off stage and jumps up and down and screams, "You did it!" They call the people on stage. The winner is Angelina Castro. They give her the art trophy and medal. "Angelina, this is my life of art." The end.
There once was a pig named Reuben. He was on his way to Perkins to get food since he was very hungry. Then he ran into his friend named Little Wet and invited him to go with him. Potato was his friend's name. His friend Potato said yes. When they arrived at Perkins, they ordered some cookies and fries. Then waited and waited. They even left to go shopping. And came back with Reuben's top hat. When they got back, they still had to wait. But when an hour passed, they were about to go to a different place, and they finally got their food. They came back the next day and then the same thing as last night. They even ordered the same food. They kept coming back for months until they realized what was in that food. They realized most of the food was unhealthy. So they went to the gym and never came back to Perkins again. They went to McDonald's and it was the same story. They can't handle being chubby.
The Little Unicorn by Gabriel Lobato
and Jersey Woolworth.
Once upon a time, there was a magical forest with magical unicorns. A mother and her young one went on a walk to the magical waterfall. When they finally got there, the young one met all of her friends there. As all the mothers watched them play, while the little ones were playing, they realized that one of the young ones, named Ellie, was shining, like her parents do. And that was very weird for a young unicorn. Most of the time, they would get their powers when they start to grow wings. The rest of the unicorns quickly went to get their mothers. Ellie's mother and the rest were in shock. No one had ever seen something like this before. When her mother said, "How are you doing that?" the unicorn didn't know. Then Ellie and her mother quickly went home. And they called Dr. Miracle. Dr. Miracle finally answered Ellie's mother said Ellie was glowing.
It was amazing. Ellie, he got all his testing with his gadgets. Dr. Miracle, there was nothing he could do, and he said, "This unicorn is a very special unicorn." When he got to the laboratory, he tested Ellie and said, "This only have the 2 unicorns that are chosen." And Ellie, is a chosen one. He's a special unicorn in the whole village.
The end.
Michael and his mom were at their home. They went on a cruise to Cuba. They were on a ship and they had a fight who got to choose the movie they were going to watch. Then it got worse. Michael got mad and jumped off the boat and swam away. Michael lost his way at the sea and swam away to this very popular island called Cuba. Everyone was different and Michael didn't want to talk to anybody because he was too shy and he began to cry. A guy came over to ask what was wrong and Michael said he couldn't find the boat his mother was on. Then the man said, "I will help you find your mother, but she is going to have to pay me $200 in payback." A few years later, Michael and the man managed to find the talent in the hotel she was in. And they went up to the hotel and the manager and asked what room Holly Smith was in. And the manager said she was in room 27. And they went up to Michael's mom's birthday was on that day that she is turning 27, which is funny because she is in room 27.
And they went up the elevator to floor 3. They got to room 27, and the man and Michael said their goodbyes. When Michael walked in, he saw his mother and ran up to her and gave her a big hug and said, "I am so sorry." And his mother said, "I forgive you." The end.
The Bears and the Kids. One day there was kids camping, then it was getting dark, so they went next to the fire looking at the stars. Then they took out the fire and went to bed. Then they woke up the next day and wanted to do something, but they didn't know because it was their first day of camping. So they voted to go fishing or go into the mountains. But more people wanted to go to the mountains. So they went to the mountains and they climbed the mountains and more stuff that was fun. Then went in the forest further in than they were supposed to go. They saw a bush of berries and they ran to it and started eating it. That's when they heard something that peeked in the other side of the bush and saw a family of bears. And the bears looked at them and that bear started chasing them after.
Then this girl from nowhere came and knocked the bear out of the kid. Said, "What is your name?" And she said, "My name is Kate." And they said, "Thank you for helping us." "No problem. It was nothing. I have to go now. Bye." Then Kate talked to the bear and said, "Why did you chase them?" The bear said, "Well, I chased them because they were stealing my berries. But the berries are for all of us, not only for you and your family. It's for everybody. Mr. Bear, you have to share." "I know, but I love the berries and I want the berries for me and my family only. But you have to share, and please say sorry to the kids, for they don't have to be scared of you, and you can be nice, right? Oh, and you can have the berries for your family, but you have to let the kids have. So that means you have to share." "Okay, I will. I'll say sorry, okay? I'm going to do it now." So the bear went to the kids' camp, and the kids saw the bear scream, "Bear!" So all the kids screamed and ran in their camp. But the bear said, "I come in peace." But then the kids kept running. They got in their tent. Then the bear said, "I'm sorry for chasing you. I did it because I wanted the berries for myself and my family." Then the kids came outside when time with each other a lot. So the bears invited the kids to supper. Then they were eating and they were all being friendly to each other and shared things to each other. The end.
Once there was an elephant named Alfonso. He was in a circus. But the circus was unsuccessful, so they left Alfonso in a small family in Cooperstown, New York. But the family left Alfonso, and he was left to survive. He was an amazing elephant. He even had amazing talents that no one knew he had. He practiced his talents, but he always thought that something was missing in his own heart, and that was his family. So he went off on a quest to find his family and would love him, unlike the circus and the families in Cooperstown, New York. He went to the rescue center to see if a family would love him and take him home, because he was always sad at night. He had only a home, only the circus, and never loved him because they only used him for money, and he never knew that he was special elephant because he was only 3 foot tall. But the family they loved him and cared for him seemed impossible. Most of the people didn't care anymore because the state let him be in Cooperstown, New York, and he loved it because it is his hometown, and he would think of moving, but if he had to find his family that loved him. There was going to be an event in the park for the most talented animals. They were very stylish. He thought if going there because of the news said it was going to be a blast and might be amazing too. So he got ready to go to the event and tell animals, but there was an issue. The person, they had a different talent and personality. The weird part was they are all together as in their families.
The girl's name was Hannah, and she was the oldest and very sneaky. And the other boy, his name was Manson, and he was very stylish and matching to meet them. And they were like family because they just like an elephant. I wanted to meet them, so I planned to talk to them after their first performance. On the hour scene, they were really done. So I met them backstage and brought them flowers, but when they said thank you, I asked them a strange question. Where are you guys from? And they asked New York, hometown here. And this is what I said in Amazing, because it was my family. Next page. I found them. Really, I found them.
The Scorpion Snake by Alex Anderson. Do you have a sound bot? We begin this story with Joe Bob in the front and his girlfriend Ava in the back. Joe Bob is bringing along a snake with him as a pet, and his girlfriend Ava is bringing along a scorpion. Later in the story, they're getting low on gas, so they stop at a gas station for their pet's water and gas. Later, when they're at the gas station, Joe Bob gets mad at Ava for some random reason, and while Joe Bob is mad at Ava, the scorpion and the snake slip out. Later on in the story, after they escape from Ava and Joe Bob, they went along and got far away, but then accidentally fell into some toxic waste and started mutating. Then later they followed a road to Texas, but what they didn't know is that Joe Bob and Ava were going to Texas too to meet their parents. Then the scorpion and the snake started to follow them. Later they saw where they were going and they ran ahead very fast so that Ava and Joe Bob couldn't see them.
The reason why there's 666 is because everything was wrong in that house, at that address and house.
When Ava and Joe Bob get there, they don't see them at first, but then they do. Then the mother was like, "What are those?" Then the snake and the scorpion started chasing the mother around. And then Joe Bob pulls out a cage from his car and cages them up. Later on, after that heroic act that Joe Bob did, Joe Bob proposed to Ava and asked her to marry him. And Ava was like, yes, yes. The end.
Hi, I'm Chloe Smith. I just turned 11 and my birthday is on February 14th, also Valentine's Day. And all everyone cares about my birthday is boys, candy, and all that stuff. But here is my story. It all started at school when they read the announcements.
Happy birthday to Chloe Smith, and best of all, happy Valentine's Day.
And no one cared about my birthday. This was going to be the worst birthday ever, I could tell.
But at the end of the day, Chloe and her friends rode the bus to her house, and they waited for her mom to get home because they were going to Sky Zone. Things went downhill real fast. Because all the girls grabbed their phones and started texting their crushes, boyfriends, and Valentine's dates.
Then her mom got home and they started driving to Sky Zone. Everything was going amazing until they got a flat tire. The good thing we had an extra tire, so we kept on going. But when we got there, we saw there was only one trampoline, so we left. when we got home, we decided we were gonna blow out the candles, but then the fire alarm went off, and my mom dropped the cake. I was bummed, but then the worst thing happened. All my friends left, and their dates picked them up, and they went to the dance. I was so sad until my mom said she had one more surprise.
She took me to the backyard and saw the trampolines and her friends, and the best of all, she got a puppy. This was Chloe's.
Jackie and the Forest by Adam and Jesus. One day, there was a little girl who loved to go to her grandma's house. One day, she was going to take an apple pie to her grandma. She told her mom that she was going to deliver this apple pie. So she gave her mom a hug and left. To get to her grandma's house, she had to go through the forest. When she got to the forest, she met a bird named Tweety and said hi. So she went on to the forest. While she was walking in the forest, an old man came passing by and said, "Apple pie, my favorite. Do you mind if I have a piece?" Jackie said, "Sorry, but no. This is for my grandma." The old man got mad and walked away, so Jackie went on. She was almost to her grandma's house. The old man set up a trap. He digged a hole underground and covered it with leaves. When Jackie was walking, she fell through the hole and yelled, "Ah!" The old man started to laugh and took her pie. Jackie yelled, "Help! Help!" Tweety heard her and tried to find help. Tweety found her friend Foxy Fox, Sally Squirrel, and Mamie the monkey. They all found Jackie and pulled her out, so they started to chase the old man. Since the old man was old, he couldn't run so fast. When they caught up, they tackled the old man and got the pie back, so they all walked to Jackie's grandma's house. When they got to Jackie's grandma's house, they were so happy to see her grandma. And her grandma gave them all a piece of pie, and they all lived happily ever after. Jake and the Tsunami by Carol and Alex. Jake and his family are going to Miami, Florida to visit his cousin Blake. One day they went to the beach and played. Then 1 hour later the tsunami alarm went off and Blake started running. When the whole family except Jake saw the tsunami, they started running. When Jake saw the tsunami, it was too late. The tsunami swallowed him. The tsunami headed to the city and made a flood. When the family found Jake, they waited a week and left to North Carolina. When they were in North Carolina, another tsunami hit them and waited another week. When they got another car in South Carolina, they went to a disaster-free zone in Iowa. Jake actually was pissed, so they went to the Pierce washer and to make Jake back to normal. It took them 7 weeks to get there, and they lived happily ever after and not cursed.
Donkey went to Italy and bought a car. That car was a Citroen 2CV for $575. It had no engine, that's why it was so cheap. Then they were eating spaghetti while they were getting a paint job for their car and getting a new engine. Then Robert Johnson stole their car tire because he needed it. So Donkey chased Robert Johnson down and kicked him. Then Shrek sat on Robert Johnson and made him flat Stanley. And then they had to buy a Prius because their car hadn't worked anymore. Then their Prius got towed.
A Family in New York by Izzy G and Aiden G. There was a family that was on vacation going to New York. Their names was Izzy G, Jojo, and Aiden Gansville. The kids,
and Mr. Shield and Mrs. Shield, the mom and dad. Taylor Larson, the kidnapper, Ariella, Piper, Michelle, and Kelly are the friends. They were very rich, so they could go to New York. They once lived in an old house until they got to New York and they lived in a mansion. It was really gorgeous. Before they moved, they met some friends at their old school. Then they had a lot of sleepovers. Once they went outside and went for a walk, they got lost at New York and almost got kidnapped before they did get kidnapped. They ran for their life. Then they found their way home. They said, "Mom, I am never going outside again, because I almost got kidnapped." Then Mrs. Shield said, stay inside and help us unpack. Until one day they forgot that they almost got kidnapped by Taylor and went outside to their friend's house, and they got knocked out by Taylor with chloroform. Then Taylor and everyone else met up in a full armor and asked if everyone was okay, wants to be friends. Then Taylor and everyone else met up in full armor and asked if everyone wants to be friends. They all said yes, why not? Hope you liked it. That is our New York story. Alright, it's Isabel Gamache and Aiden Gansevout.
Once upon a time, there was a kid named Bobby and his sister Monica. Bobby was a curious guy. He wondered where they were going for vacation. So he asked his mom, "Where are we going?" The mom said, "We are going to Florida for vacation because Florida has a lot of fun activities." Yay! I always wanted to go to Florida my whole life. They packed clothes and food and gas. And they were on the way to Florida. On the way to Florida, they sang a couple popular songs on YouTube because their parents had unlimited data. But when Bobby and Monica tried falling asleep, they crossed the line. And Bobby got in trouble. Parents yelled at him. He said, but she crossed the line first, and Monica whispered, "Nobody will ever believe you because you're just a little kid." After that, Bobby yelled, "Mom!" And they both got thrown at the border of Florida. And then Monica said, Look what you did, jerk. It's not my fault that you were the one around." And after a couple minutes, they heard a strange sound. It sounded like a pig. They said, we need food to get back home. And they chased the pig until he went behind a huge rock. Then the huge herd of pigs, walking on 2 feet, chased them. So Bobby and Monica bolted down the road, hoping somebody would help them. After they ran, they turned around and the pigs were gone. Then at the same time they said, "No bacon for us." Monica said that they were at the border of Florida. How are we going to get all the way to Missouri? As they were walking down the road, they stopped at the gas. Oh my. And as in the horror, there was a huge anaconda slithering to their feet. Ah! It tried to eat them. It was a huge anaconda slithering to their feet. But they
they ran as fast as they could, but they were too slow and tired. And the snake caught up and grabbed Bobby's legs. Then Monica said, "Eden, who cares?" And Bobby said, "Please save me. Save me." Right after Bobby almost got eaten, Monica pulled him out though. He said, "See how it feels." The snake almost grabbed him again, but Monica threw a rock at it. As they were in Atlanta, Georgia, heading west, they got some food and drink with some leftover meat. When they were walking near the border of Georgia, they saw a black widow. They stayed as far as it possible from it. They heard horrible stories about people died from black widows, so they kept their distance. As they were walking through Tennessee, they saw a huge snake. They knew it was venomous because it was hiding. But a few seconds later, they saw a huge dog to take the snake out and eat it whole. When they were too close, when they were at the border of Missouri and Territory, were so close to home in St. Louis, they were nearly home, and they saw a huge lizard. Monica said, "What is that?" And Bobby knew. She was scared the way she talked. He said that it was a Komodo dragon. Those things are venomous. They are fast. As they tried to keep their distance, then when they saw it and I saw them moving, they stopped moving. Then they stopped moving, and they held their breath. In silence, the Komodo dragon stopped looking at them, and they took off without the Komodo dragon knowing. They said at their house, "I'm so hydrated." And then in the end, Bobby and Mom lived as cavemen in the desert because they got lost as cavemen in the desert because they were lost and never found home.
The end. Kate's diary. My name is Katie, but people call me Kate for short. Here are some facts about me. I like Chickabee magazines. I hate this girl named Emma. And she likes the boy which I like is Jacob. And she's my enemy. She hates my guts and I hate hers. I live in LA with my mom and dad. And my Sophia, my brighter little sister. Oh, and did I tell you? I go to a private school and we don't have to wear uniforms? Yeah!
Okay, today my sister Sophia was packing her lunch and she was making a tomato and jelly sandwich. Ew! Today at school, I was getting in my locker when I saw Emma flirting with Jacob. I could just have walked up to her and told her to leave him alone, but I said that to myself. The good thing is that I was partners with Jacob today in math, while Emma was partners with Noah. But let me describe Noah for you. Glasses, short, a lot of pimples, and likes to pick his nose. And you have Emma, wears designer's clothes, a lot of makeup, and thinks she owns a school.
It felt so good not to be in school. Also, I'm going shopping with my friends today. I decided to wear ripped black jeans with a white shirt and my black Vans. Oh, and did I tell you that I'm in the dressing room hiding from Emma and her pitty friends? They have an IQ of Pebble. Their names are Brittany and Ari.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe school is almost over. There's only 4 more days of school, but I am going to miss school a little bit because I won't see Jacob. But I am happy because I don't have to see Emma this summer. Oh, did I tell you that I'm going to summer camp and Willow and Natalia are going to be there? I am so excited. Last night at 12, my bratty little sister woke me up because she had to go check if the stupid little unicorn of hers that she has been waiting for 5 months to show up. Thanks to Willow, who told her that unicorns exist. Now I'm the one having to wake up every night. Great.
One more day, and I'm officially finally over with summer vacation, and I'm more than excited. I'm currently in the library, writing inside my diary. Ooh, did I mention to you I was looking at Jacob most of the time? Whoops.
Last day, folks. Last day. I'm so excited for this summer, especially for summer camp, which I leave tomorrow. I'm currently walking with Willow and Natalia to school. We always walk together. We arrive to school, and first thing we see is Emma. Great way to start my morning. Well, today wasn't such a bad day, and I'm happy. I even got Jacob to sign my year's book, and I touched his hand.
I touched his hand, and he also gave me a goodbye hug, and oh boy.
I leave for summer camp today with my BFFs. Natalia's already here, and we are waiting for Will. Only while we were...
Last day, folks, last day. I'm so excited for this summer, especially for summer camp, which I leave tomorrow. I'm currently walking with Willow and Natalia to school, and we always walk together. We arrive to school, and first thing we see is Emma. Great way to start my morning. Well, today wasn't such a bad day, and I'm happy. I even got Jacob to sign my year's book, and I touched his hand. And he also gave me a goodbye hug, and oh boy.
I leave for summer camp today with my BFFs. Natalia is already here, and we're waiting for Willow. Only while we were waiting, my mom made us pancakes and bacon, my favorite. Willow finally arrived, and my mom dropped us off at school. Waiting for the bus for a while, and it finally arrived. More than half the way there we slept. LOL. I can't wait to see how the summer camp turns out.
Mowgli's story. Once upon a time, there was a little tiger named Mowgli.
He went home and told his mom that he had heard these noises, and she went to see where the noises came from. So she left the cave and never came back.
A couple hours later, his dad came home and saw Mowgli crying. His dad asked, "Why are you crying, and where is your mom?" Mowgli answered, "I do not know. She left the cave and hasn't came back."
Now his dad was worried, and so he said, "Come with me to help find your mom." They left the cave and they never found her. By the time they got home, it was nighttime. 5 years later, Mowgli's dad was now dead, so he had to take care of himself. Now, Mowgli still had his aunt. He was hunting for food for his aunt and himself.
After a while, Mowgli started walking to his aunt's and accidentally put his foot in a bear trap. Mowgli yelped with pain and finally figured his way out.
When Mowgli found his way to his aunt asked him, "Why is your paw bleeding?" Mowgli told his aunt that he had stepped in a bear trap. When he was done at his aunt's house, he started his way home when all of a sudden people jumped out at him and captured him. He was brought to the big van. The people put him in the back of the van, and they went to the front. Well, all but one. That one was going to watch Mowgli the whole way to town. 3 hours later, when they got to town, they brought Mowgli into an old shack and brought Mowgli in it. In the shack, the people started to talk, and they said, "Man one, what shall we do with this one? He looks very healthy." Man two, "Well, we have two choices: skin him for the fur and not get a lot of money, or show the tiger off to the city and get a lot of money." Man 1, 3, 4, show the tiger off to the city for more money. Man 4, then after everyone gets bored of the tiger, we will skin it. Mowgli wondered what they meant by showing him off to the city. All of the men came to Mowgli and took him out of the cage that he was in, and had a lot of struggle to put a collar on Mowgli because he kept running around. When they finally got it on, they put him in another cage, but it was more of a stall. The next day, the people started to treat him like a pet. They also tried to be secretive, but they were called poachers. On the way to town, they let Mowgli in the back without him in a cage. Mowgli ended up breaking the back door. He got out of the van and he was on the interstate when he saw a patch of trees, and he ran to the patch of trees.
When Mowgli got to the trees, he was very disappointed because he thought it was the forest, but it was a little patch of trees.
Mowgli kept on running until he reached a bigger patch of trees, and he now is getting closer to the forest. And he started to run again until he reached the forest. He kept on running to his aunt's to get the collar off.
The end.
He was born in Delaware when he was little. He went to the ocean to see the fishes and clams. Mom was mad at him because he went to the sea without asking. So he went to his dad's house. His dad is nice to him because he is the best dad ever. He will buy everything for him.
that he asked. But when the mom found out that her kid is getting everything that he asked for, she went mad and yelled at the dad for it. His mom wanted him to go to Iowa and stay there until he was able to come back. But then, before, so they went to the airport so he can go to Iowa to stay with his grandma. When he was packing, he found an old toy when he was little. His father went with him to Iowa. When he was on the plane to Iowa, he got first class because he lives with his grandmother. So he always flashed to his mom in the summer. When he got back, he went to Tesla Model X dealership to get the car that he wanted. And this in his life,